Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey in discovering just a little bit more of this amazing language a day. So last time we talked about, this episode, we get back to our chain of expressions. Last time we talked about 充分必要条件. It's a little bit worthy. It's a kind of contemporary translation of the basic concepts in logic. It talks about 充分, sufficient, 必要, necessary, 条件, conditions. So we're going to continue with 见 today. So 见, we have just a little bit quick review. We have this human figure on the left side, and then this horn, up to the horn image of this structure of just horizontal and vertical line kind of structure, body, skeletal structure with a horn. That's our abstraction of any animal with a horn, which is ox. So we have ox as major domestic animal back then, and we have human. These are the two probably the productive members in the agriculture society. And so that's what we're going to count for. So that eventually abstracted into pieces, like a head count, counts these major production resources. And 记, we have, okay, the left side is about speaking. We have the mouth symbol, which is a block with up tilted corner. And then we have this another up tilted arch with this vertical line connecting. I view it as a pointer of, okay, pay attention to something from the mouth. And then we have this another arch stacking on top of that. That is the tip of the tongue. So we have the whole concept here, the mouth and the tip of the tongue together, it means the tongue. So we have the tongue at the bottom and two horizontal lines stacking even higher on top of that is the sound bits or sound bites coming out of the mouth and the tongue making. So it's basically verbalization, talking, the sound bits coming out of it. So the whole idea is speaking. The right side, just across. Okay, in the language creation era of ancient Chinese language, the language makers have no influence from Christianity. So this doesn't mean anything to relate to classification idea. It's simply a string of rope and the knots on the rope. So before we have computers or any contemporary devices, technologies, ancient times use rope to have record keeping, because you're going to count something really like big numbers of counting. You have to note it down somewhere before pencil and pen, right? We don't even have any of that. It's ropes that people use. And when you make a knot on the rope, that means 10 already counted. So I guess 10 is a common used unit back then. So from this knot on this rope, eventually we make it even more obvious or more abstract. So this is our number 10. So I have the right side, number 10, and we have left side, speaking. Okay, speaking 10. It basically means you're counting something. So 10 is our measurement or counting, like a quantification of things, right? Count to 10. And the left side is speaking. It's like how to use that information to make decisions. So that's eventually become counting. The concept of counting or calculating about things, right? You need to measure it first, keep record of it, and then you try to make sense of it, speak your piece about what you're going to do with it, something like that, right? So this whole idea just means count or calculate. So you're going to count here is count your pieces. And then on the right side, 工资 is another contemporary expression. 工 means labor, and it came from the tool, the labor, back then used often, which is, well, I guess here in other Chinese expressions, we have the top line, that's the skyline, the ground is the bottom line, and we have something connected between the heaven and earth. well, it's not that complicated. Here, it's actually a human scale thing. It's not heaven and earth thing. It's the tools back then people use to make straight corners, to make the right angle, because angling things correctly, 90 degrees, is essential in building things back then. I mean, now as well, right? We have this ruler to make sure you have this straight corner. So that's a kind of tool ancient times craftsmen use. And I mean, ancient time we call it craftsmen because they are not certified as engineers, but you can see it's kind of however much scale, either as an architect or civil engineer back then, like they have to use this tool. So eventually the tool they're using becomes symbol to representing the whole class of people who are working with their hands and building things. So these builders eventually become the symbol of labor. And on the right side, it's interesting, right? 工资, 工 is the labor side, and 资 is the capital side. We have this money symbol, which is 贝. 贝 is our seashell expression. And I guess back then, seashell is the major currency used back then. And this oval shape with two horizontal lines simply kind of visual sense of the patterns on the seashell. And this two kind of drapey two legs dangling over there is the soft body from the seashell, the former living creatures living inside the seashell. So the whole concept, I mean, without the two legs, it's our eye symbol. And with the two legs, we know, oh, this is seashell. And this is the currency representing money, right? Already representing money. So what's the rest of the symbol? Okay, this is number 2. So 2 horizontal lines over there. And then we have the right side, 3 strokes, downward strokes. And we have, this is actually a human figure, the top portion of the human figure. Some scholars interpret it as, okay, so this symbolizes something coming from the top portion of this human. And these are the airs coming out of the human. So it's kind of a yawning symbol because there are these recurring patterns of air coming from the top of this person, something exhaust from the person, right? And then we have number 2 here. This number 2 combined with the right side sounds like 次. 次 used as the sound symbol. I mean, sound maker and this is the meaning maker, right? That's money or currency, and the 次 is the sound maker. But this sound together means something secondary, something not the optimal, not the best quality. It's secondary, number 2. Okay, I'm not going to interpret it anymore, but you just remember this is our money currency, and this is the sound 次, and combined as 资. 资 is our capital, labor. So count piece, labor, capital. Okay, first I have to explain. 工资 in combination simply means your labor, and 资 is the money matching with that labor, which is the pay. 工资, even used today, contemporary Chinese, we say it's your pay. And count piece, pay simply means piece rate pay. So there are different ways to get paid, right? Many people pay by the hour or by the whole work. Like their counting of time is non-essential of pay rate, but it's the result of production, right? It's project-based or whatever. Different ways to get paid, right? Different ways of quantification of their work to get paid. So this is one most commonly used way of pay in the manufacturing industry. So it's piece rate, however much productivity this worker on the assembly line has, it's related to how much they are going to get paid. And because it's assembly line, right? Like you finish your piece, it's not enough. It has to be everybody on that assembly line, the whole process to finish the product, whatever form is that product. That's the total count piece. That's your whole productivity as a unit of production. So maybe there are more elaborate ways to count your productivity, but piece rate paid is what it is about. 计件工资. Cash into the currency of thinking about one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.